This is Craig,
Hey everybody, this is Ben.
and we're excited to launch the Parrish IT podcast. Our goal with this podcast is to provide Parrish employees with better insight into technologies and processes that we use as a company. We plan to release a podcast every 2 weeks and will cover a variety of subjects.
With each podcast, we'll also provide instructional videos to support the week's discussion when they do apply,
Thanks for listening.
and we hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in.
We're glad to have you for this week's first Parrish IT podcast. We'd like to discuss Microsoft Exchange and Office 365. You may have seen the word Exchange on your iPhone, iPad, or within Microsoft Outlook at some point.
So what is Exchange?
Well, in simple terms, Exchange is a database of information, contacts, calendar events, and email.
So where does the information live? Where's it held?
Well, it's held in the cloud.
In the cloud, like those big fluffy clouds we see outside.
Yes, yes.
I think what Craig means is the cloud is simply a server in a secure location. It's basically the internet in simple terms.
It is correct. In this case, it's a Microsoft data server. So the server is held at a Microsoft data center. So Ben, our contacts, calendar, and email sits on a data server in Microsoft's data center. Can you discuss with our audience some of the applications that we use to view or access this information, this type of information?
Sure. Well, first we have Microsoft Outlook, and your laptop or your PC users are probably more familiar with this application.
Yes, but what they may not know is that there's also an online version of Outlook that you can access through a web browser just by signing in with your email address and Office 365 password.
That's correct. There's also an Outlook app for the iPad and iPhone that users can download from the Apple App Store. Currently though, the most used app on the iPhone and the iPad is the Apple Mail app.
This is the one that looks like a white envelope on a blue background.
Yes, however, this is for email only. For the iPhone and iPad, there are separate apps for calendar and a separate app for contacts.
True. The iPhone lists contacts under the green phone app, and the iPad has a separate app just for contacts. Both devices use the calendar app that connects to Exchange to view calendar data.
Great, that brings up an interesting question. Recently, I've had users mention that they enter a calendar event on their iPhone, but it wasn't showing up on their other devices. Let's say, for example, I create a calendar event on my iPhone, and then when I get to my desk and look on Outlook in my computer, it's not there on that calendar.
Yeah, well, this is because your devices, iPhone, iPad, have separate internal calendars as well as the Exchange calendar. They even have an Apple iCloud calendar. The user needs to select the calendar they want to associate the event to in order for it to show up on all the Exchange applications.
Well, that makes sense. So since the actual calendar information is stored in the cloud or on the Microsoft server, like you explained to us, we've got to point the new calendar event to the correct data source.
Correct. Or you can go into settings and set your default calendar to Exchange, and it will automatically select it.
Great. And we'll have examples of that on the tutorials.
Yes.
Okay, so we've covered how to view email, contacts, and calendar events using Outlook. But basically, Outlook is just one part of the suite that Microsoft Office 365 provides, correct?
Yes.
So what's the difference then between Exchange and Microsoft Office 365?
Well, in simple terms, Office 365 is a license or a subscription for accessing and using the complete Office suite of tools: Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc.
Okay, I got it now. Exchange is where the data lives, and Office 365 is just the license where we can access the data.
Correct. The license to the applications that accesses the data.
Okay, I've got another question. Since employee contacts are stored in Exchange, why can't we see when a new employee is hired in our contacts?
Okay. Well, the answer to that is two parts. First, everyone's contacts are individual, meaning I don't have the same contacts that you have, and you don't have the same contacts that I have. Second, you do actually already have access to a new employee's information. It's just within the global list of Exchange. You have to add that contact to your individual contact list from the global list.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
This concludes episode 1 of the Parrish IT podcast.
Be sure to check out some or all of the support materials that we will provide with this episode. And we'd love to hear your feedback. Tell us what you liked, what you disliked, or if you have subjects that you think that we should cover in future episodes, let us know that too. So be sure to like, share, give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.